What's up, gang? Back at it again with another scary ghost story. This next story is about legendary Debbie Allen, actress, choreographer, and director. Debbie grew up in Houston, Texas. Her father was a young black dentist and mother a brilliant poet, a black woman in the 1950s who dared to dream beyond her time. Debbie said people looked at her like, go put that poetry down and go fry some chicken or something. But she didn't. She wrote anyway. And she taught her children to believe in certain things, especially the ones they couldn't always see. Debbie said her mother knew all about like the supernatural realm, spiritual realm. She told her there are good angels and bad angels. Watch her! She said if you keep the good with you, that light, good ones will stay and watch over you, basically. When Debbie was 9 years old, her parents had a very messy divorce. She said it was very dramatic and traumatizing. That left her confused, scared. Her world was shaken. One afternoon, she sat alone in the living room. I believe she said her mother was in the kitchen, not too far. And there was a picture of her grandmother above the fireplace. Debbie said it was a beautiful picture. Her grandmother was in this green suit, perfectly tailored. She said her grandmother had like a mane of hair done beautifully as well. So Debbie stared at the picture, trying to see herself in it, trying to see herself in her grandmother's face. And that's when it happened. A faint glow appeared underneath the portrait, a soft golden light. There was no lamps, no sunlight, just a steady light. She said it was constant, coming from that exact photo. And before she could even blink, the light began to move, reaching towards her, glowing brighter and brighter. Debbie was out of there. Debbie ran so fast out that living room, and when she came back and peeked around the corner, the light was gone, completely gone. That night, Debbie went to bed very uneasy. Debbie's sister, Felicia, which is another legend, Felicia Rashad. Am I the only one that didn't know they were sisters for a few years? Maybe I'm too young, but that was crazy to find out. I just recently found out, like 2-3 years ago, that recent. Anywho, since their dad left, Felicia would sing Debbie to bed, but she would have a hard time sleeping. So that night, her sister Felicia sang her to bed as usual. But in the middle of the night, Debbie woke back up. At the edge of her bed stood a woman glowing in the dark, emanating her own light. The same exact green suit and mane of beautiful hair. It was her grandmother. Yup, Debbie's grandmother pulled right up on her. Don't forget, Debbie is 9 at this time. So keep that in your back pocket for later. Just remember that. She's basically a child. We know kids can see more than, regular people. That innocence they have naturally gives them abilities. You feel me? Debbie was afraid at first. This is a lot happening to a child. But then her grandmother walked towards her and started calming her. She felt her spirit calming her. Sat gently on the bed, consoling Debbie, rubbing her head and everything. She smiled and said, "Don't be afraid, baby. Everything is going to be all right." And just like that, peace filled up in the room. Debbie said she stayed there with her until she fell back to sleep. When morning came, she hopped up, looking for her like, where'd she go? But the woman was gone, of course. Debbie ran to her mother, telling her everything. Her mother happened to be in the kitchen at the time, writing. Her mother didn't question it. She believed Debbie, and she smiled. That actually made her happy. It was like almost like relief. So Debbie's grandmother passed away from tuberculosis in the 1930s when Debbie's mother was just 9. Yes, the same exact age. And 9 is a divine number, so. And now, years later, she came back to comfort that 9-year-old child that's in pain, just like her daughter was. Debbie's mother had a very hard time with her mother passing away that young. When you had tuberculosis back in those days, they isolate you. So she didn't even really get, enough time or probably to even say goodbye to her daughter properly. Debbie believes her grandmother came because she needed her. She needed some light in that dark moment in her life. But I believe grandma came for everybody. Because if Debbie was stressing, Felicia had to be stressing too. Why Felicia look like Tony Braxton in this, y'all? As well as for her mother, which just recently passed away. Rest in peace. She lived up to 102, guys. Beautiful, long life. She's actually award-winning poet. So I do believe she came for everybody. She came to a child because it's easier, and Debbie was able to give that message to her mother to keep pushing, which helped all the other ones become very successful. And did y'all know Debbie said she was part Cherokee? Makes sense. I always thought they looked a little witchy. Yes, let me know what y'all think in the comments. What was her grandmother's message? What was she trying to say? What was she trying to do? And shout out to Debbie. We love you, Auntie Debbie. Love the whole family. Auntie Felicia too. If you've been here for a while, you know I like a good dance. You know I like to cut up a little bit. So I appreciate that. I'm Cube of Lore. This is Forbidden Lore Season 2 Ghost Stories. Don't forget to engage from the bottom up. Let's like, comment, subscribe, all that. And if you're new here, listen up. Enough. Only if you're new here. Thank you so much. I appreciate you watching my content. I appreciate you here. But why didn't you follow me yet? You watched this whole video. You enjoyed the whole video. But you didn't even think about following me? You don't care about me as a creator. That's cool. That's cool. I love all of y'all. I appreciate y'all. And as always, this is only for entertainment purposes only. Allegedly, hypothetically speaking. All Hallows Eve is approaching. It's getting very weird out here. So y'all make sure you be careful. Be careful. Be careful.